everyone. Welcome to the Future DDS Dental School Experience series, where we help you decide which dental school is right for you. Now, every school is unique and will provide you with a different experience, and we thought who better to explain to you what a school has to offer than a student who actually goes there. Our goal in this series is to give you a first-hand perspective of every dental program in America and ultimately help you make the right decision. So today we'll be showcasing Peter Vaughn, who is a D3 at the Ohio State University School of Dental Medicine. How are you doing today, Peter?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing well, man. Doing well. First and foremost, I want to say thank you so much for taking a little bit of your time out today to help us out with this interview series.
Hey, you're very welcome. D3 years of breeze, so I got plenty of time on my hands.
Hey, man. Appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started. If you could, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you went to undergrad, and kind of why you chose the dental field.
Yeah, sure. So I'm from Southern Ohio, like Cincinnati, Lebanon. I went to undergrad at Mount Vernon, which is just north of Columbus, played soccer there. I started out thinking I wanted to do medicine. A lot of people do that. So I shadowed surgeons, family doctors. I didn't love it. So my uncle's a dentist, pediatric dentist. Talked to him about it on vacation. He said, why don't you just go shadow a dentist? So I did that. And, they do surgery. So that's what I really want to do. I was like, I want to do hands-on. I want to drill stuff. I want to do the fixing part. So he said, I observed that you can do that. You also have a personal relationship with these patients that you see over your entire life. You're bringing these people back over your entire life and maybe even theirs. So that was something that I really valued and was intrigued about for dentistry. My process as far as getting in, so that was junior year of college. So I took the DAT. So I've got a kind of crazy story. So I actually took the DAT 3 times.
Okay, hey, that's the first time we've heard that on the series.
This is the first time probably a lot of people would know this. So I took the DAT. I did okay. There was one area that was not great. So going into my senior soccer season, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take it again right before I submit. I think I submitted my application and then I signed up for my DAT to take again. I barely studied. I was like, I got this because I did fine on the other one. Besides the one section, bombed it. So I submitted my application was already submitted. Didn't get any interviews. Applied to like 15 schools. So that's turning point. I was like, that's a lot of times people could say, yeah, no, you know what, not going to do it. But I studied, took the DAT again, did good enough for me, well enough for me to get in.
Right.
And so I reapplied, and I got an interview at Ohio State, and a couple other schools as well. But ultimately chose Ohio State.
And so what'd you do on that year off? Because you applied, you didn't get in. And so what'd you do on like your year off in between?
So I was connected with the coach, really good relationship with my college coach. So he invited me to come back and help him coach. So I coached the reserve team and I coached some club soccer down in Columbus. I was doing I worked 3 jobs, I think. And then I was also biology lab tech at the undergrad college I went to.
Okay.
So I just figured, I loved soccer, loved coaching, just do something that I enjoyed in my time off.
No, it makes sense, man. It definitely makes sense. And I think that, like you said, there's always that turning point, right, where a lot of people would have or might have just kind of given up. But
right.
The fact that you kept going, obviously it proved to work. So, everybody, all of our viewers, granted, Peter is an example of, if you don't get in the first time, it's okay. And a lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people will apply and not get in.
Yeah.
But if that is your case, then, of course, just continue to try because if dentistry is really for you, you'll get in eventually, Right.
If you really want it, then you'll get it.
Exactly. So let's talk about your school. So for everybody who doesn't know where Ohio State is, like what city is Ohio State in?
It's in Columbus, Columbus, Ohio. It's right smack in the middle. It's like through and through college town, through and through college football. Like you see it on TV, but you don't know it until you get here. They like bleed it. They don't talk to Michigan people. It's like it's real.
So do you all get tickets to the football games?
Yeah, you get as a first year, you get the first year rank for college football tickets. So you can get the student deal and get like the crappy student seats.
Yeah, right.
But if you went here for undergrad and you're a fourth year, then you get like the 5th rank, so you get a higher rank. It's a pretty sweet deal.
Okay.
You get a discount, student tickets. Yeah.
How big is your class?
So my class is 110. They just opened up 10 more spots to people who are in Ohio from underserved areas. Because the idea is there's a lot of legislator debate going into underserved areas for dentistry, that topic. So the idea here at Ohio State is to bring people from those areas so that they go back to those areas.
Right.
So it's 120 now.
Okay, so y'all don't have like the whole IS, international students type program where they kind of join in like your 3rd or 4th year?
That's a question I don't know the answer to.
Okay. Cool, bro. It's cool.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. So, next question. I know you said that you got into a couple of different schools. What are kind of like some of the key factors that made you choose Ohio State? Like, we know you're from Ohio, but was there anything else like that made you say, wow, I really need to go to this school?
So I'm really close to my family. So that was one thing. I did want to be close. So I kind of kept my applications to this region. I would say, and you'll hear this a lot wherever you're looking, money was the biggest factor.
Yeah.
I mean, because you look at some of the private schools, it's very expensive. And so, yeah, I mean, this was definitely the best choice financially. And that was the biggest reason that I chose Ohio State, to be honest. Yeah.
That's fair. I'm sure that in-state tuition is ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it's a big help. But Ohio State, actually, I will add this. Ohio State does something really cool. They work really well. I actually live with a guy from California.
Okay.
So if you come from out of state, they will work really closely with you to establish in-state residency. And for the next 3 years, you'll actually get the in-state tuition rate.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if other schools do that or not, but I know it was really cool here.
Yeah, I've heard of I forgot what school it was, but one other school did say they do that, which is great. You know, a lot of people, that debt is ridiculous, man, especially with overtime and it's accruing. If you get on that 20-year plan, you might pay double of what you originally paid, you know? And
I know.
It's
difficult.
It's ridiculous. But, okay, so you're going to Ohio State now. Can you kind of tell us about the interview process? I know it was a while ago, but can you kind of walk us through what the interview day was like?
The interview process. So like once I.
So even like right the day of the interview, you know, like you got on campus. What did they start off with? Was it kind of like a welcome meeting? Was it a one-on-one faculty type of situation?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a big group meeting. We all checked in and did this big group meeting. Everyone's like nervous, excited, obviously. But I never felt uncomfortable.
Okay.
Or actually I really didn't feel that nervous once we actually got in the big group. We've got a great student affairs program here. The person in charge of that is very approachable. And it's really important to the dean of our school to have somebody like that. So she just right away calmed everybody down. We split up into small groups, I think, and some of us did like a student panel. Some toured Ohio State campus. Some went straight into the interview. And so they just kind of shuffled us around like that. The actual interview was also pretty chill. We stood around a middle circle and we got to read our interviewers' bios. And then time's up or time starts, and then you turn around and you go sit down. And they were really calm about saying, just read over the prompt. Don't feel rushed. You've got plenty of time. Like, we're here just to listen and talk to you as a person. It was a mix of student and faculty. Actually, one station was just the students. That was that's who I started with, and that was the best because you just kind of ease into it. But yeah, everything was really relaxed.
Okay, great. And so a lot of our viewers, they really like to kind of hear. Well, actually, let me go back a little bit. So you got the interview, you got into school. What was that transition like? As far as did you all have an orientation week, or did they kind of just throw you into the fire and say, hey, welcome to dental school. Here's anatomy 101.
Yeah, we did have an orientation week, or at least like 3 or 4 days, where we're getting our tours and figuring out where our lockers are and getting all our gear, all the tools that you have no idea what they are.
No idea.
And people tell you, you'll know exactly what these are in 6 months. You don't believe them, but you actually do. Everyone goes through that. Yeah, they eased us in. I mean, it was kind of like undergrad where you start off slow with classes, and we did a lot of out of school. We did a lot of networking, a lot of socializing, hanging out with everybody, because everyone's excited to be there. Everyone's has the same goal as you. Everyone wants to be a dentist, and like, you guys made it. You're finally there, and so everyone's just excited to go out and get to know each other. So that was, I honestly, the first semester of dental school was actually probably one of my favorites.
Of course, yeah, early.
Yeah, but then it
hits, right?
Then you realize you have a year and a half more of all these hard classes. You're like, it's so awesome right now, but it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
Yeah, it's definitely a marathon. Definitely.
Yeah.
But okay, so a lot of our viewers love to kind of hear a timeline of the day. So if you could kind of start us off for your D1 year, at least start us off like with your first class of the day, like just start at 8 and then just kind of like walk us through a typical day for you.
That's kind of nice hard to remember. First year, we have basically, you have class all day.
Yeah.
I mean, Mondays we had, but it was nice because a couple days they started us later. Like Mondays we started at 9 or 9:30, and you had class the rest of the day, the class or lab or whatever. Tuesday 7:30 is normally what time classes start here.
7:30.
So, yeah, I know it's yeah, that's our first class. So it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you got to get up at 7:30 and be in class. You're pretty much there all day. There's breaks within. You obviously get an hour for lunch. But Fridays are cool because we don't start till 12:30. So you could socialize pretty hard Thursday night and still
be okay.
It was okay.
All right, cool. All right, so let's say somebody's watching this interview and they're convinced that Ohio State is where they want to be. What would you recommend that they make sure that they have on their application, whether it be community service, whether it be shadowing hours? Like, what's that one thing that Ohio State really looks at?
I wrote down some notes. Let me look.
Oh, no, you're good, man.
Yeah, so I guess from my experience, I would say focus on in undergrad, focus on your grades and your DAT, because it helps you get in the door.
Yeah.
Because there is a screening process where, I mean, obviously from my experience, I just didn't get any interviews because my grades weren't there. If I could have gotten in the door, I know I would have gotten in.
Right.
So like you have to set yourself at a bar at some point. What Ohio State really cares about is, are you going to work hard? Are you going to be a fun person, a good person to be around? Are you going to be a good dentist? That's what they care about. They want to graduate good dentists. They're going to serve the community well and reflect well on Ohio State. So that's what you have to show in the interview. You've got to get there with your scores, and then you've got to show that you're going to be a great dentist. Right. That seems scary. That's just by being a good team member and being someone that can have a conversation with somebody else.
Right. Being personable.
Yeah.
And it is a skill. I think a lot of people think they might be, the most social person, but I mean, it's definitely something to make sure that you have ready for that interview so that they can tell that you're able to communicate,
Yeah. And on go piggybacking off that, I would suggest, I did this with my advisor, a mock interview. It sounds corny and it feels uncomfortable, but it did help me. He came up with a list of questions and he said, just come down. We set a time and date, and he said, just come in. We're going to act like we don't know each other, and I'm just going to act like we're doing a dental school interview. That like feeling and that practice really helps your nerves for the day of.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That for everybody.
Definitely. I recommend that as well. Definitely. And so me and you and I, we know how stressful dental school can be, Granted, I think, like we said, you're over that hump now, after that second year hump. But people want to know, like, how do you manage the dental school stress? Like, how do you make sure that your mental sanity has been okay throughout this duration of dental school?
It's difficult, and sometimes you feel like you just get overwhelmed. It's going to happen to everybody. You're going to get to the point where you're just like, wow, I need to take a break. This is tough. Day to day, I'm one of those crazy psycho people that wakes up at 5:30 and works out every morning. That's very important for me, though, and I couldn't study well without knowing that I worked out that day. It's just a mental thing I have. But even if you don't wake up in the morning, I would suggest finding a time not to waste, not to spend scrolling on Instagram, but a time that you're purposely, whether it's working out, whether it's meditating, whether it's like reading an actual like good book, something like that to kind of clear your mind before you get into the dense anatomy and biochem and all that stuff. And also socialize a lot. There are people in our class that are off by themselves, and I think they have a harder time navigating dental school. It's very important. Everyone's going through the same exact thing, whether they show it on Instagram or they show it in your conversations. They are going through the same exact thing. So you won't know that unless you're out there talking with them.
And I completely agree. I always tell people how we kind of say like that first semester is so important because a lot of your relationships will be built in that time. So even if you're not the most social person, be social during that time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, dental school is like the real world. You know, everybody kind of forms their cliques. You don't want to be that person who doesn't necessarily have the strongest support system around them. Granted, the school is always going to support you, but really having that core group of friends goes a long way.
I agree. And I'm not that social. I don't like just starting conversation. I'm getting better at it because, like you said, it is a skill that you do develop in dental school, I think, especially. But yeah, it's something that's very important.
Definitely. Okay, so now I want to talk about clinic. You know, do you all get exposed to clinic early on, or do you kind of do like assist your second year and then kind of transition to the third year? Like, how does that whole system work?
Yeah, we really don't get any patient experience until the summer of third year. Okay. So I guess now that I've talked to more people from other schools, it sounds like that's a little later. I think some second years are getting more involved with even doing prophies and assisting and doing things like that. We work together on each other, learning clinical skills. Like, you know, we've taken so many alginate impressions on my classmates. But yeah, that's kind of the stuff we did. And then when we start clinic third year, you're given 10 patients or 12 or 15 or whatever, and you're like, it's like, call them, let's get started. Yep. So it's kind of cold turkey, but it was good. I enjoyed it.
You get up to the pace, right?
You're forced to. You get fast when you have to. So
yeah, I'm excited to get to that point, man.
Oh yeah, it's worth it. That was the point for me. It was like, okay, this is worth it.
This is why I'm here. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, oh, I remember now. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. But okay, great. So now I want to ask you about kind of like an experience, you know, within dental school that you had that you were just like, wow, you know what? This is why I came to Ohio State. Whether it be some type of interaction with a faculty, sometime one of your friends, you know, helped you with a project, whatever it may be. But like, we want to hear about like a unique experience that really made you appreciate the fact that you were at Ohio State.
Let me think about that. Mm-hmm. I think that, so this may be kind of a weird thing, but I think one of the coolest things about going to Ohio State and being a part of the dental school that everybody gets to enjoy is the Ohio State football team and the team that goes into that. I never studied on a game day, and no one does, and it's a break that everyone needs, but no one takes unless it's like shoved in your face. I mean, people wake up at like 5:30 and start tailgating. It's like, and it's loud. You can't sleep. You can't study. No one's in the library. So, but that was really important for me in adjusting to dental school, and because you're just go. Yeah. And so it's like every Saturday in the fall, you get a refresher because you're like, okay, it's game day. Let's go. Let's do it. So I think that's a very unique thing. I'm sure other schools have great football teams, but ours is the best. Yeah.
All right, I'll let you have that. I'll let you have that one, man. I'll let you have that one. But definitely. But all right, man. So we're getting to the end of the interview now. Do you have any last words of advice for somebody who might not necessarily be interested in Ohio State, but is just applying in general?
Yes. One thing, don't quit. That's like my bread and butter. I always feel like I'm an underdog because of my first experience, and I think that's important. But even if you get in the first time, like don't coast. That was something I wanted to talk about earlier, was even if you're naturally good, because some people you'll find when they start clinic, they're naturally good, or they're at like down in the pre-doc clinic, like doing type not work, naturally good. Those people that coast end up being bad in clinic. It's the people that are bad at first that keep working. So even if you're good, work hard. That's like the most important thing I could ever tell someone. And there are opportunities to sacrifice your integrity in dental school, whether it's a whole slew of things that I don't need to go through because you guys are all smart enough to figure out what they are. Just don't do it. Don't go down that road, because it transfers into the rest of your life and the way you'll practice dentistry. And then you're sacrificing your care and you're sacrificing your patience. So I'd just say work hard, have integrity. That's pretty simple, right?
Yeah, that's good, man. It's easy. It should be easy, right?
Yeah.
It should be easy, man. But once again, Peter, thank you so much. Do you have any contact information that you can give to our viewers just in case they want to reach out and ask you any more questions?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to give you my my Gmail just in case. Okay. It's after I graduate. It's my name, peter.vaughn, which is peter.vaughan17@gmail.com.
Great. Once again, on behalf of Future DDS, on behalf of all of our viewers, we want to say thank you so much taking your time out on this Wednesday, on this beautiful Wednesday. I know you all have great weather out there. I hope it's not too cold out there in Ohio right now. Yeah, man, we really just want to say thank you so much. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me on, and feel free to reach out with me for any questions that you guys may have. Appreciate it.
Definitely. Everybody, if you haven't already, make sure that you hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe and notification bell so that you know whenever we post new content. But until next time, see y'all later.